Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to cook sadza. It's a Southern African staple among other staples that are eaten in Southern Africa. It's a dish eaten by kings and queens, men and women, children, babies. It is such a lovely food because you can eat it with anything from chicken, fish, barbecue, cow food, vegetables, you name it, you can eat it because it's neutral food. It can go with any, especially with barbecue and the salads on the side. Oh, it's lovely. So let's get cooking. You need a pan in size that you can manage to cook in, or depending on how many people you want to feed. So you just put a bit of maize just to the bottom of the pan like so, and then mix with cold water. Make sure it's properly mixed so that it doesn't cause lumps. And then you add boiling water. Just ensure that the water is at boiling point, because otherwise the porridge won't thicken quickly enough. You'll be stirring forever. It will take longer for you to cook it if the water is not boiling. So just ensure the water is at boiling point. And then stir it until it's thick enough to start boiling. You will see bubbles start forming when it's ready to boil. So just keep stirring to avoid lumps forming at the bottom, and any lumps that form at the start of the process become very difficult to break. They are actually sometimes not breakable. So you'll be eating sadza which is lumpy. So just make sure that the heat is on high. It's on high heat. The hob is on high heat, so that you can finish this process quickly. The sadza can thicken quickly on high heat. But when it's boiling, you turn it to medium heat, and when you start simmering it at the end, you simmer it at low heat, the lowest heat. So you start with high heat while stirring it high heat so that it quickly thickens. Oh, this porridge is taking long. It may be because the water had cooled down. If it had been at boiling point, I wouldn't have been stirring for so long. So make sure the water is at boiling point. And you know what? You could actually, when you boil this porridge, it is actually a cereal in Southern Africa as well. We don't just eat the sadza, we also eat the porridge in the morning. So you can, if you don't have cereals in your house, you can just make this maize meal. It's quite cheap. It's quite cheap food, but very good, because this porridge, you can just add sugar and a bit of salt and some peanut butter, and add milk if you put milk to it. But it's good enough without milk, especially if you're tight on cash. So it's quite good food, cereal in the morning. And children who eat the porridge in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, we actually raised our kids on this, because we couldn't always find money to buy the cereals from the shop. So this is a very good cereal in its own right, because it's maize meal, like cornmeal, but this is made from maize. Maize is much bigger than cornmeal, and it's quite good. And this food is very filling. So for children, this one, you see how thick it is. It's like if you want to dish it out at this point to make it porridge, the cereal is absolutely fine. But this time we're cooking sadza, so we're gonna carry on. So just make sure that it's boiling like that, bubbling like that. It shows you that you're doing it well. It's not overflowing, because if you make it too thin, it just starts overflowing, and then you make a mess on the hob. So just close it, not completely, just leave a space for air to come in to enter the pot, and then leave it for 3 to 5 minutes. Let it cook while you just clear up the kitchen and do whatever you have to do in the kitchen. So you come back to it. Oh, the pan is quite full, so what do? You have to be creative. So I just put a bit of water at the bottom of the bowl or cup, and then just add some of it, just tip out some of it, so that I can make room for me to start cooking the sadza without making a mess on the hob. So tip out a bit, and then start adding the dry maize and start the sadza cooking process. So I'm just adding about 2 cups, and then start mixing quickly. You do it quickly. Take your time, but this video is speeded up obviously, so just do it quickly. And then I want to add back the porridge, so I just put a bit of dry maize so that I think it can mix well. and then add back the porridge that I tipped out earlier to make room in the pan, and also to avoid making a mess while cooking. As you can see, my pan is relatively clean because I didn't want to make a mess. That's why I tipped it out. There's a bit of a mess coming out, but that's not as bad as it would have been if I hadn't tipped it out in the first place. So try to keep your kitchen clean, keep your home clean. You don't want to create jobs for yourself in the kitchen. So be creative, be, clever when you're doing this. So then when you mix it well, start breaking the lumps and mixing, breaking the lumps. It's a good workout. So enjoy the workout. At this point, the heat is at medium, as I said. So make sure you just mix it properly. And when you break it, the video is speeded up, obviously. So I've done more than that you can see in the video, because I've speeded up the video. Otherwise, it would have taken a long time. I didn't want it to be too long. So just keep breaking the lumps and mixing it, breaking the lumps, making sure every bit has been mixed together. Just turning it, mix, break the lumps. As I said before, this food can be eaten with anything. You can eat it in the morning, you can eat it in the afternoon, you can eat it in the evening. It's quite healthy because you know what? It keeps away all the cravings. When you eat sadza, you don't crave anything. Even snacking, it stops you from snacking, because all you'll be doing after eating this, it will be just water. You'll be having water and water, which is quite healthy, because you need to drink a lot of water per day. Is it 2 liters a day? So this food encourages you to drink a lot of water. Even the porridge, if you eat the porridge in the morning with peanut butter and salt and sugar, bit of salt, sugar as much as you can manage, and some milk, it makes you drink a lot of water. So it's quite healthy. And it's food that is, even for the poor people, it's quite helpful because it helps them feed their children. You just cook the sadza, fry some vegetables, and if you've got a bit of meat, chicken, whatever you have, feed the children. It's quite easy food and easily accessible, especially in the rural areas, but it's eaten including kings and queens, the rich, the poor, everyone eats this food. It's a lovely, lovely staple besides rice. Rice is good, but it's not as filling as sadza. It doesn't stay in your stomach as long as sadza does. Sadza is good because it makes you drink a lot of water. So you leave it to simmer. When you leave it to simmer, remember, low heat, the lowest heat. Leave it to simmer. It allows the maize meal that you added in between to get cooked, because remember, the other maize meal was cooked at the beginning when you were boiling the porridge, and then you added on a bit of some dry maize to thicken the porridge. So that maize meal needs to be cooked. That is the reason why you have to simmer it. You come back and mix it, and then doing the workout, obviously. And then you cover it again, leave it to simmer, because it needs to be cooked. And when it's cooked, you can start smelling the sadza. Start smelling nice. There's a nice aroma in the kitchen. It's quite, appetizing, when the kitchen, the sadza starts smelling nice. And you can see it will be shiny as well when you're mixing it. When it's done properly, it will be shiny. There's a shiny look to the sadza. So you just start setting up the kitchen for dishing. Set up the dishing area so that you can start packaging the sadza, because if you're not going to eat all of the sadza at once, you can preserve the other one for later. And when you preserve it in cling film, like I'm going to show you, when you're ready to eat it, whenever you want to eat it, it can stay in the freezer for a long, long time, because it's food that you can microwave. When you're ready to eat it, you just bank it in the microwave for 10 minutes on high heat. It becomes soft again. You'll have your relish ready, whether it's chicken, whether it's beef, whatever, on the side, and vegetables, and it's ready to eat. So the process of mixing it like this is necessary. You do not want to hurry the process, because if you do, the sadza won't be tasting nice. You won't eat it again. And sometimes you can actually, upset your stomach. So when it's ready like this, just put it in cling film. Like I'm going to preserve some of it. I'm going to eat some of it, but I'm going to preserve some of it. So just put it in cling film nicely, nice shape. Put enough portions for the, you know how much people in your house want to eat. Some people like big portions, some people like smaller portions. That's a big portion. That will be for me, I guess, because my daughters, they don't eat such big portions. That's got to be me for me. And the smaller portions for the kids. So make the portions as big as you can manage. Smaller ones for kids, bigger ones for the grown-ups. They don't have to be the same size. And then when you put it like that, when you put it in cling film, just put it aside, let it cool down before you freeze it. And just remember, when you're ready to eat it, you just put it in the microwave, 10 minutes on high heat. Sometimes a microwave, these days they're making, it can be actually just 5 minutes. It depends on the kind of microwave you have. I've got 2 different microwaves in this house and they are totally different. The other one, you put it in for 5 minutes, it's done. The other one, you put it in for 8 to 10 minutes. So it depends on the microwave you have, because different microwaves have got different capabilities. So you just make sure that it's soft. And then when you're ready to eat, you know, you can serve it with chicken, with fish, with barbecue and some sauce, some greens, whichever greens you like, cabbage, anything. You can eat sadza with anything, including sour milk, cultured milk. Don't forget to share my videos, subscribe to my channel so that you can get alerts when I post new videos. And please do not forget to give me the thumbs up, please. And if you can leave a comment, that will be most appreciated. Feedback will be most appreciated. Thank you.